Hi, thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Latoria Kern, and you are listening to FamVersation, a talk show for teens that talks to professionals from all over the United States and here in Vegas. Today, you're going to meet a fabulous person, and I cannot wait to introduce you to her. This is joining me today, Miss Trina Marie Shaw. Miss Tina Marie Shaw, as you can see, is our USOA Mrs. Nevada 2022. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Latoria. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as I said before, our show is to meet professionals from the community and have them to talk to our young people about how you became successful, a little bit of the challenges that you may have encountered, and we're going to end the show with all of this. We want to hear all about being ranked USOA Mrs. Nevada. And that is the United States of America's Mrs. Nevada 2022. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Yes. I know how important that
Yes,
is.
thank you so much.
So tell me a little bit about your childhood.
It was interesting for sure. Some great moments, some struggling moments. Uh, my mom was diagnosed with a mental illness when I was very young. I remember at the age of 7, she was sick, mentally. And it's something that my family really didn't talk about too much. I didn't talk about it. I told myself I would never ever talk about it. And it took something as me participating in a pageant to say, you know what? People need to hear my story.
Really?
Yeah.
That is really, really, really interesting to hear that. And so, was that your platform for the pageant?
Yes, my platform is called Sparkle, Turning Darkness into Light, and it's about eradicating stigmas associated with mental health, mental illnesses. I know my family didn't talk about it just because it was something that they just wasn't too familiar about and really didn't understand. And then for me, I didn't talk about it because of the stigma of shame that's attached to it. I didn't want people to say, oh, your mom is crazy. I didn't want them to think if I was going to be crazy. Sometimes I even question, oh my God, am I going to be mentally ill at one point in my life? So I just never ever wanted to say anything about it. My brother has always been very open. I
Mm-hmm.
had to tell him, quit telling my business. And he says, I'm not telling your business. I'm telling my business. I said, well, your business
It's
is my
my
business. So
business.
stop telling my
I like
business.
that. So after your earlier years, as um, trying to hide the stigma, um, obviously you went to school. You ended up going and finishing up high school. Talk about your high school years and college years.
Yeah, so I actually fell in love with basketball probably about 7th grade. I've always played sports. I played flag football, volleyball, track, cross country. I just was an athlete. I love to compete, obviously. And but basketball really tugged at my heart. And basketball, I didn't realize then was my form of therapy. I didn't see a therapist when I was younger. In the African American culture, and I think a lot of minority cultures in general, therapy and talking about mental health or any type of issue is just something you just don't do. You just push through it. Life could be worse, which is true. But, they say, well, your ancestors or your grandfather, what they've done back in the day, you don't have any problems or struggles. It can't be that bad.
What's going on in our home
It
stays in
stays
our
in
home.
our home, exactly. Yeah, and I, I do believe that it was all from love. But what I've realized is that it definitely has hurt the culture in general because everything is kept inside. And it also allowed you to be very protective and even have trust issues, right? Because you
I
never
can see
talked
that.
about what has happened when you were growing up, whatever the trauma was. You never talked about it. You just kind of harbor it inside. You don't know. You don't understand it.
Right.
And so that's why I'm so passionate about my platform, Sparkle, Turning Darkness into Light, because I want to inspire people to share their story. I want to empower people and encourage people to think of different ways of what we can do to help encourage people to say, you know what, I'm not doing okay.
Right.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong when you're going through life. We're human. We're supposed to feel.
Exactly.
And somehow, as a society, we have forgotten that we're human.
Right.
And we're going to go through some things.
I saw two different posts on you. One that you shared recently is like stress release. It's a new post that you uploaded, and it was a hotline that you can dial into.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Warm Lines. Mental Health America has I don't want to say a program, but I guess you can kind of say a program where you don't have to be connected to them, to the organization, to any type of therapist, any support group or anything like that. And if you need someone to reach out to talk to, you can. And I think that's awesome because although I'm telling people and I go to classrooms and I work with the youth and I'm like, hey, we're a community and we have to look out for each other.
Right,
and when
right.
you see someone's behavior change, they're usually always chipper and happy. All of a sudden, they're very quiet to themselves. You might want to pry just a little bit. We're also taught to mind your business. Don't mind your business.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to go ahead and pry.
Could be something going
Yeah.
on.
But at the same time, none of us are licensed therapists. I do have a master's in human services, but I'm not a licensed therapist.
Mm-hmm.
They're not licensed therapists.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't put someone else's troubles on your shoulder. But what I am asking is that to go ahead and be the person that sometimes you might have to be that support or you're getting them the help. So that Warm Line is a number that you can share with them, or if you see it, and you could go to my website too and get that information. And you just reach out to someone, and the people that answer the phone are people who have experienced whatever that you're going through, which is a reminder that more than likely someone has went through what you went through.
More
so you're
than
not
likely.
alone. Believe it or
Exactly.
not, you're not
Exactly.
alone.
Exactly. And then the other post that I saw was one that was shared with me through the young lady who interviewed you. And that post, you were on one of the TV networks and you were talking about stress in the workplace.
Yes.
And so, like, what are some things that you can advise, talk about, or have people to help deal with stress at the workplace?
You always have to make sure you're doing something that's for you. So we get so wrapped up in our work, most of us, right? We want to do an excellent job. And then you have home life, family life, whatever else. You might be involved with other activities, but you have to make sure that you find something that is all about you and it's okay to put yourself first. That was something else I had to kind of undo in my mind, that it was okay that I come first and that it wasn't me being selfish,
Right.
but that, hey, I need to do something that's just for me because it is a stress reliever.
Right.
For some people, they like to go to the gym. Some people, they like to go hiking. Some people want to read a book. Some people don't want to do anything but go to sleep.
Right. and here's the thing. If you're on an airplane, the first thing they tell you that if an emergency happens and you're with someone, you have to put the mask on your face first.
Yes.
So you have to take care of yourself first.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say that all the time
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm talking to the youth. I said, remember, you have to put that mask on your face first. You have to. Even moms, both of us are moms.
That's right.
Even when you have your children, you have to put the mask, because
right.
if you don't make sure you have oxygen and you're breathing and you can function, how are you going to be alive? How are you going to be available? How are you going to be well enough to be able to take care of someone else?
It's so true. So true.
Yeah.
So after high school, what did you do?
So after high school, I actually I got pregnant at 19. So I played 2 years of college basketball, got pregnant my second year to my amazing son, George Elderly, Rachel the 5th. Chief 5, love you. And
shout out to my son.
Yes. And then I had to take a break from school for a while. And then just from, I honestly, I do believe that because I didn't get the therapy that I needed, I ended up dating someone that wasn't really, I won't say it was a bad person, but he had anger issues. So that's actually what brought me into Las Vegas.
Wow.
I needed to just get away, and I came to Las Vegas with just a suitcase.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your baby.
And my son's father is a big help. So my son's father actually did a really good job with helping me as far as raising him. And it got to one point, honestly, that I was like, I couldn't, I'm not a man. And I think I did the hardest thing that a lot of women would do, which is I had to say to myself, you know what? I can't teach him how to be a man. So he actually went and lived with my son's father full time, his dad full time, which his dad, the fourth, is amazing too. We just weren't meant for each other. I was still young, wasn't ready to get married. Probably could have, but I just didn't want to get married at
And
that
stuff
age.
happens.
Yeah,
You know,
stuff happens.
stuff happens. You know, and you move on.
Yeah.
So, so now, after college, you've had a career, and then you went into real estate. Tell me a little bit about your journey to real estate, and any challenges or flaws that you had to overcome.
Oh yes, actually, so before real estate, I went to CSN. I stayed here 1 year, got my residency, went to CSN, and then transferred to University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And I actually got my undergrad degree in Bachelor of Science Business Administration with an emphasis in Human Resource Management. So I actually spent over 15 years in HR, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I love leading and developing people. And I did that for a while. And when I said you got to pick up something that's for you, that's how I ended up picking up photography, because I needed some type of outlet. I was so stressed. I would work such long hours. I was so stressed out that I was like, I have to do something. So I picked up photography. So I took a break from HR. Wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. Had my photography business for a while, and I actually still have that.
You literally had a business in photography. I didn't know that. That's cool.
I started to take some classes and realized I was good at it.
Right.
And saw that I could run it as a business and said, why not? So
everybody's looking for a photographer. And do you do that now?
Yeah, I don't shoot. I still have my company. My business partner does most of the shooting, and then we have other photographers that actually do most of the work. I hardly ever shoot just because I don't have enough time to shoot, but I still have it. And so when you ask me as far as real estate, I did go to real estate school, and so I have my license for a little over 3 years now. So when people ask me like, how long have you been a realtor? I'm like, well, I've had my license for a little over 3 years, about this time now. However, I have been dealing with contracts. I used to deal with unions. I had to write contracts. I had to negotiate contracts. I've been working with people and negotiating for over 15 years. Now it's over 18 years. So real estate, even though it's dealing with houses, it's not new to me, and that's why I feel really comfortable, and I do owe that to my success so far.
I like how you set a goal, and at the end of the year, you're like, I'm going to sell 4 houses before before the year ends, and you did it.
I did. Yeah.
And this is such a great market to be a real estate agent right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I did. I had 4 transactions in December. I was like, well, I had to hit my goal, so I needed 4 more in order to hit my goal. Yes.
I love it. I love it. And so you touch bases on that you took some classes. What are the steps to becoming a realtor, a real estate agent?
So I took online classes, which I'm familiar with. I took a lot of online classes when I first came out here, working full time, and then going to school, which was extremely tough. Sometimes I don't even know how I did it. One time I took 22 credits. One time
was 22?
Oh yeah.
That's a whole year.
I just needed to get it done. I had to get it done. So I did it while working full time. I needed it. Yeah, I needed to finish. And then, and I'm sorry, what was your question again? I was like, wait a minute. I was still stuck on, how did I do that?
But you did it. You're here to tell the story. Yes. So like the classes, like what are the steps of becoming a realtor? Yes.
So you have to sign up. There's different schools. So in Nevada, like they have the real estate school in Nevada. That's actually where I went. But there's Key Realty. There's different, throughout the U.S. You take a national exam and you take a state exam. So the national exam is for no matter what state you live in, right? And then you have your state exam. And because I had my degree already, I decided to do both the real estate and the broker license. So I'm a broker salesperson is what they call me. Yes.
And I was going to ask you about that.
Yes.
I wondered about that because I could see you in that broker role because of, as I'm getting to know you more and more and more. So good.
Yeah.
Glad to know that you were
I said, I just need to get it done. I'm not going to take the class again. I mean, not the class, the test again. I need to do it one time. So I just,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things that you touched bases on it already, and one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was some of your other passions and some of your other interests.
Okay. Yes. So besides, um, I do like competing. I feel like it pushes you and it's motivating, because, you want to win. If you ask my husband, he thinks I'm very competitive, but he is way more competitive than I am.
What?
Yes, he's way more competitive. I told him this morning he went to go play golf with some of his friends that are in town. And he said his swing was off yesterday. So I said, well, babe, you better get there early this morning so you can practice your drive.
Was he out there early this morning?
I need you to come home and say that you had a really good game.
I love it. And so let me see here. So we know that you're passionate about being a competitor, which you are, because you are. I'm sitting here with the Mrs. USOA, Mrs. Nevada 2022. So I know she's very competitive.
Yes.
And how many people competed in that pageant?
So we had, good question. I ain't gonna go, but we probably had a total of, I don't know, 15.
I saw a group picture, and it was like 20, 30 people. Was it that many?
It was probably less. Maybe
It looked like it was a lot of people.
Yeah, there was quite a few. There were like 15. There's different divisions, but it's how many were there? 8. Yeah, maybe 16. Was it 15, 16 maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 15, 16 people, a
Yeah.
lot can look like a lot
Yeah.
when you're on a picture.
Yeah.
But it was a lot. I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of people that competed.
Yeah.
So, and you walked away with the title. I
I-
love it. I'm not going to get too much into that right
Okay.
now because
Okay.
I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later.
But to answer your question too, I actually love to do anything that's adventurous just about. So I actually recently flew an airplane, which was exciting.
What?
I did. No lessons. I just flew it.
Okay.
I went to
Who
go
was
meet
your
some
co-pilot?
friends. So he was actually a pilot.
Okay.
So I went to go meet some friends, and when I showed up, they were like, "Oh, so you ready to fly this airplane?" And I went, "Yes." I was like, "What?"
I
They're like,
probably
"Yeah,
would've
you're
said the
gonna
same
fly
thing,
it,"
like,
and
absolutely.
I went, "Sure." Yes.
I love it. Miss Adventurous. I love it, man. So, this show is to help young people to strive to become excellent and meeting people in the community who've struggled and who've made it successfully. What advice would you give a young person that is looking at you and they're like, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. Like, talk to the young people right now and tell them like what advice you would give them as they're preparing for their careers.
Okay, as they're preparing, I would say, first thing I would say, the same thing I tell my son: do not let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Not even me. Not your mom, not your dad, not your aunt, not your grandmother, not anybody. If you believe in your heart that this is what you're supposed to do and this is what you want to do, then you better do everything to make it happen and make it work. And it will. As long as you believe, and it's not going to be easy, because nothing great comes easy. If everything great comes easy, everybody be doing great things, and it wouldn't be so great because it came so easy. And that's the way I look at it. You just you do it and you prove people wrong. Sometimes when you deal with trauma, I don't even look at it as like it defines who you are, but you can take that traumatic experience and you could turn it into fuel. And that's what I did. I turned it into fuel because I wanted to prove to, the pain that I was feeling from people that I thought that I should have trusted, that hurt me, that I was someone, and that I was not going to be just another statistic, and that I was going to show you that I can do this. I had someone tell me that I was not going to do anything but have babies. And
I was told the same thing.
I was told in junior high when I was talking about college, really, you don't think about a trade school? And I went, oh God, I never even thought about a trade school. I thought I was supposed to go to college. And I was like flabbergasted. I didn't know what to think anymore. So my point is, people are going to tell you some things, and sometimes it's out of their fear. Like they might genuinely love you, but because they're fearful of it and they don't want you to hurt or be in pain, they may try to talk you out of it. But you have to believe in your heart. And the biggest thing is knowing what your purpose is. I am a firm believer that once you find out what your purpose is, there's nothing that's going to stop you.
And when you're working in your purpose, that's the other
Yes.
thing. When you're working in your
Yes.
purpose, it's not work. You're
Right.
simply getting paid for it. Have been fueled by people telling me the same thing, that you can't do this. And I'm telling you, every single time I hear you can't do this, and I can't tell you how many countless people who have been superly successful. Michael Jordan, I saw him in an interview the other day, and he said that he was so glad to be able to tell his coach that did not put him on that basketball team in high school, you were wrong.
Right. That's the best feeling.
Isn't that the best?
Yes.
That is the best.
Yes. Steve Harvey said something similar, and I forgot the exact story, but I remember he said he wanted to, I guess, be on TV or whatever. I don't know if it was comedy or acting, and the teacher said he couldn't do it because he had a stuttering problem. He kept sending her TVs so she could see him on TV. I loved
What?
it. I loved it. Yes.
I had a lady tell me when I was in undergraduate school that I was not going to finish undergraduate school because I had a boyfriend. And because I had a boyfriend, she said these words to me: "You ain't gonna finish."
Oh, no.
I still hear those words in my head. You ain't gonna finish. You're gonna end up getting pregnant.
Yes.
And she's one of my mother's clients.
Oh, man.
And when I graduated, I walked to her house personally and handed her my.
I love it.
When I was getting ready to graduate, I walked to her personally to give her my invitation to attend my college graduation.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's the best.
that's the best.
The best
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah.
The best feedback.
Yeah.
I love
so
it.
believe in yourself. I
Yes.
love what you said. Believe in
Yeah.
yourself, and do not let anybody tell
Yes.
you your self-worth, because you know that you can do it if you believe
Right.
that you can do it.
And it's not. And then after you believe, you have to put
The
the.
work in. Is that what you're about to say?
You can't just sit on the couch and believe and believe and believe and have this vision if you're not doing anything to make it happen. That they go together.
That's right.
They go together.
That's right. Yeah, because a dream is just a dream
Yes.
until you turn it into reality.
Here you go.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. So that is going to wrap it up for us for our first part of our show. And I want to say thank you so much. It's so cool sitting here with you. We'll be back with FamVersations.
We'll be back.
You're listening to FamVersations, conversations with local businesses and professionals from all across Las Vegas and the United States. FamVersations, foster, adopt, mentor, investing in lives of youth.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now.
Hi, I'm Latoria Kern, founder and executive director for Family Arts at Whalers Creation. For us, family means foster, adopt, mentor, investing in lives of youth, and arts is the job training we provide youth. Please join us every Friday at 3 o'clock on the YouTube Whalers Creation channel, because we're interviewing local business and professionals from Las Vegas and all across the United States. Join us every Friday at 3 o'clock for FamVersations. And we're back with FamVersation. Today, as we told you earlier, we are meeting with Trina Marie Shaw.
Yes.
And Tina Marie Shaw is...
You want to keep saying the musician, the artist, Tina Marie.
Right. Because you're Tina, and you're
Trina.
not Tina, you're Trina. She's Trina. She's not... I know, Tina
Everybody
Marie.
keeps saying
Everybody
Tina.
knows
I know.
that.
Tina is amazing.
But she is Trina Marie.
Yes,
Tina,
yes.
we want to get that name right,
Yes.
because you want to keep an eye on this young lady. So Trina Marie Shaw is the United States of America's Mrs. Nevada 2022. And I am super excited that I get to meet her. And we have her on the cover of our magazine coming up in a couple of days, actually. So we want you guys to definitely check out our new issue of Youth News featuring Miss Tina Marie Shaw. Trina Marie Shaw.
I know. She's just going to call me Tina for the rest of the night. It's okay. I love Tina Marie. So
Trina
it's okay.
Marie Shaw. So that night, when it was down to 2 people, because you have to have this whole drawn out week or a couple of days of preparing. Tell me about that.
Okay, so actually it's longer than a couple days of preparation because you prepare way before the actual competition. So there's a lot of work that's put into competing in pageants, which I didn't realize how much work. So when you get on the stage, it's kind of like, for me at least, I felt like it was the moment of, you get to see all the hard work that I put into it, but it's a lot of stress. It is. It's definitely worth it, but as I mentioned earlier, nothing good comes right from if you don't stress about it a little bit. But as far as your interviewing, they say that pageants are won in interview. So interviewing, on stage question has the most heaviest weight, and then obviously your evening gown and your swimsuit. And the swimsuit you can do a 1-piece or a 2-piece. Some people say, what? You know what?
I didn't realize they were still doing swimsuit competitions.
And I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me because, you put a lot of work into it and it is motivation for you to stay in shape. So, hey, you might as well show off what you did. I don't mind.
I worked hard for this.
Yes. And you get to do 1 or 2-piece. So it's not like you have to do a 2-piece and you feel uncomfortable. So it's, I'm good with it.
So that night when, after all that preparation and all of that long hours of getting mindset ready and, having people to come out and cheer you on. I know, I'm feeling it too.
Yeah.
And it was down to you and another person.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts? Tell me about that moment.
Just praying that, did I do okay in the interview? Did I answer my question? Okay, my onstage question. Did they hear my passion? Do they see like my heart? All these things that's going through your head. And it's just, for me, it was just like prayer. Like, this is, I feel like my journey. I know how much work I put into it. And I just really wanted to, I really wanted to win, to be honest. And I should feel so bad about it, right?
You shouldn't feel bad. That's why you're in the competition. Nobody's in the competition to lose.
Yeah, right.
So that's okay.
However, I would say the biggest win, though, of it all, though, it was how much I've grown. That, to me, is the biggest win. That's the part that I'm like, when I go out and I talk to people or people ask me questions about pageants, I tell them, like, if you're really looking to step outside your comfort zone and push yourself in ways that you never really imagined, then you should consider a pageant. Oh, I'm too shy. You should consider a pageant. Oh, I feel uncomfortable on stage. You should consider a pageant. Because it does help you with your confidence level. It does help you define your voice. It does encourage you to give back to the community. I've always given back to the community. So that part was like, yes, this is who I am. And United States America Pageant System, the motto is what I stand for as far as the brand, empowering women, inspiring everyone, uplifting others. That's, what I am about. Like, I love supporting other women. I know how the challenges that we have, that we're still are having to overcome. So to be able to empower another woman, I feel like you're also allowing that next woman to empower somebody else. And that's how we all continue to elevate and to grow. And then when it comes to inspiring people, like if you go to my Facebook personal page, you'll say, for years, I don't know how long, it's probably been as long as I had a Facebook account, love to inspire.
Wow.
Love to inspire. Because I said, if I can be the person that I needed when I was 7 years old, 10 years old, then I know I can help someone else. And if I can just help one person, if I can help save a person's life, not to get too heavy, but the reason why I'm so passionate about it is that people don't talk about it enough, and they don't realize that we lose someone to suicide every 40 seconds in the world. So this is a really big issue.
It's a big
No one wants to talk about it, but like, we have to talk about it. And so that's why, like, turning darkness into light, because hey, if we talk about it more, it becomes easier. It's just like life insurance, right? Nobody wants to talk about it. Now more people are having those conversations because they know they have to have their things in order. And I understand you want to talk about death, but you still need to have stuff in order. Same thing with mental health. If we can reach people before they get to that dark place where they feel like they have no other alternative and they don't want to be here anymore, we will reduce suicide.
Right.
Yeah. And there's so many people used to think that the people that would decide to no longer be here were people who were weak. And I'm like, not really. They're doctors. They're lawyers. They're moms, dads, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, people like you and I that just said,
Athletes,
I'm tired.
Singers, dancers.
Yeah. And they just didn't have the life coping skills. Another reason why it needs to be added in elementary, high school, and even for collegiate courses. Life coping skills. How do I have a breathing app, a mindful app on my Apple Watch. When I get stressed out, I put it on, and it helps me control my breathing for a minute. You will be surprised after the end of that minute, because I've controlled my breathing. All of a sudden, I can think clearly now, and I can go about my business.
And we tell kids, actually, when kids get upset, stop and breathe.
Yes.
That breathing is powerful.
Everything. Yes.
Because you're getting oxygen to your brain. Because when you stop breathing and it's just adrenaline running, your blood vessels, your brain is getting all clogged up, and you can't think. So when you can stop and breathe, then you can think clearly. Yes. Is this a decision I want to make? Is this something I want to do? Or
why am I so angry? You start to realize what your emotions are. But the interesting thing, if you ask any Olympian, like a track star, they would tell you, what does the coach say? Get your breathing under control. Get your breathing under control. That breathing is everything. But then too, we also tell people when they're younger, and even now, they don't have the freedom to be able to express themselves if they're upset and really understand why. So that self-awareness is everything. Like, why am I feeling this way? And then validating that their feelings are okay. It's okay for you to be upset. I mean, you can't go and destroy things, but if you're upset, you are entitled to be upset because they're your feelings.
Exactly. And to be able to articulate when you can, because sometimes you feel like you just want to, and I'm not stealing your stuff, but what you're passionate about is something that our magazine supports. When we put something in about mental health, every single issue. So it's something that we definitely too believe in, and we just want you to be able to express yourself in a positive way, because there's a whole lot of different ways that you can express yourself, but choose positive. Breathe.
Yes. You can go dancing. You can go running too.
Yeah.
You can
paint.
Yes. They're all forms of therapy. Music.
Yes.
Pick up an instrument, learn a new instrument, whatever. They're all forms of therapy. And therapy comes in different formats, whether you're speaking to a therapist, a licensed therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, whether you are taking up dance or photography, like I said, music, taking medication, or sometimes a combination of 1, 2, 3, or 4 things. But the biggest thing is that you have to have an outlet. You got to find that outlet, and you have to figure out learn those life coping skills.
Absolutely.
And so you go to a coach. I think everybody needs a therapist.
Oh, a therapist,
I really
mentor,
do. Or a mentor.
Because mentors can be therapeutic.
Yes.
Just having that person that you can just let it out with.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I'm a therapist sometimes too, as a real estate professional. I'm so serious because I'm helping people make one of the biggest transactions of their life. It could be very stressful. So to be calm and kind of walk them through and get them to the finish line,
I like that. My mother was a hairstylist, and she owned a chain of salons. Yeah. And my mom always said that hairstylists are therapists.
I believe
because you get in that shampoo bowl and you start letting it out.
Yes. Oh yes.
And barbers.
Yes.
Bartenders.
Yeah. Yes.
All therapeutic.
Yes.
When is the next competition?
The next competition, I will be competing for the amazing title as United States of America's Mrs. in February. So the middle of February is coming up in less than 3 weeks. It's February 16th through the 19th. We'll be competing at the South Point Hotel out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And
is that a ticketed event?
It is a ticketed event.
And how much are the tickets?
Oh, great question. I don't know. I'm going to be in the. You know what? I just sent some. I sent the links to a few people, but I didn't look at the pricing.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't even look at it.
Because every pageant I've ever been to, I was either behind the stage
Okay.
doing makeup or I was rooting my daughter on.
Yeah.
So I've never ever purchased a
Yeah,
ticket for a pageant, but for yours I'll do it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Okay, and then let's see here.
And then you can also watch it if people don't want to go. There's also going to be a way that you can watch it on pageantlive.com, and you can get more information about the pageant. One, you can go to my website, beintrinimarie.com, and then you can also go to United States of America pageants.com too for information.
Perfect. Well, that's really cool because I wanted to ask you, with all the Trina Marinas, what's next for you?
Oh, continue to really advocate my platform. So I had a podcast that I put on pause for a while, but I'm getting ready to start that back up. It's called Better Homes and Therapy. And it's basically conversations about how to build stronger communities, have better relationships, so better homes. And then obviously a splash of real estate here and there.
Right. I love it.
But yeah, so that, and then I am, I know I have been asked to MC a youth event that's coming up in May.
May is National Foster Care Month.
Oh, there you go, by Rethink Worldwide. So you're welcome, Lee Jackson. So you can go to her website to get more information on that. And gosh, I have a couple more. I've been asked to read at a school for the reading week that's at the end of February and the beginning of March.
Nevada Reading Week, yeah.
And then I'll be working with a young lady in Detroit. She's a therapist, and Brandy and Jay McCrae Style Boutique, where we're going to be doing like some webinars, some workshops, just to kind of get more people feeling comfortable with seeing a therapist. Because, you know, it has that stigma too. Like, I don't want to see a therapist. I don't want people to think I'm crazy. See a therapist. They're like a coach.
They're like a coach.
They're like a coach.
And then you also have your online therapist. Is that you guys doing something like that?
So you can definitely do online telehealth. They use telehealth and do that. And then, so if you are, and if I can just say this too, so I'm the brand ambassador of Solutions of Change, which is a mental health nonprofit organization, and they provide therapy and other forms, alternative forms of therapy, counseling sessions to those who are undocumented, who don't have enough insurance, and who don't have any insurance at all. So you can go to solutionsofchange.org if you are looking to kind of, you don't know where to go. You can go to that website if you're in Nevada and get more information from them. And then again, on my website, I have other resources that you can, just kind of read up on and get information for different things, whether it be autism, because all of that affects us mentally, affects the community mentally.
So how can people reach out to you? Because we've talked about several careers all wrapped up into one here. Yes. So for your real estate, how can they reach you for your real estate?
So for real estate, my website is vegasluxury-homes.com, and I always say luxury isn't a price point, it's an experience. Right? Everyone should be treated fantastically. So, we service and help anyone who is seriously looking to buy or sell their home. So they can go there. My phone number is 702-497-3159. That is my phone number too for my blog, for if you want to reach out to me, if you want me to come speak or teach or educate, whether it be with employers, whether it be with the youth, even women workshops. I don't discriminate. At the end of the day, I just want to help people. I want to help people. I have a passion for our youth for sure, because they are our future.
That's right.
And I do want to do more as far as going to schools and stuff like that and teaching, because every time I go to a school, the teachers are like, wow, your platform is like amazing. It's just the way I work with the youth. We do a community building game, and we just have a conversation about mental health, and that's all it is. It should be literally a conversation at the dinner table.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. So Trina Marie.
Yes. You said it right. she said Trina Marie.
I shocked myself.
Yes.
Trina,
Yes.
you are amazing,
Yes.
and it is my honor to be able to sit here and talk to you and chat it up a little bit.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the bigger things that you are going to be doing, because all of this is stepping stones to something.
Yes.
What? I don't know, but
Yes.
everything that you're doing, all these building blocks that you are creating, it's for something, and what it is, the world
Yeah.
has to wait and see.
I know, yes. And if I could just end with one last part, this is my favorite quote, and it's by Mark Twain. Okay. He says there's two very important days in your life: the day that you're born and the day that you find out why. And so if I can encourage everyone to really kind of figure out what their why is, and so that way they can start operating it, it makes a huge difference, because like what I'm doing, my purpose is bigger than me, is bigger than the sash and crown, but I get to wear it proudly, and it does help me too, because it does open up opportunities and doors that is a lot of times more difficult for anybody else to be able to enter. So I wear it proudly. I love to wear my sash and my crown. People do treat you, differently, because you are a public figure, right? You're a role model, and I do take it seriously.
So with that said, before I close up today, so you're the reigning USOA Mrs. Nevada 2022.
Yes.
But they're going to be crowning a new Mrs. Nevada in 2022. So how does that work?
So it's in November usually is when they have the competition. So I will be crowning my successor, and that person would have the title of United States of America's Mrs. Nevada 2023.
Okay.
Yes.
And so for 2022, she will.
So basically, I've had this position and title from November 2021 in probably November 2022.
Oh, so when you
Yes.
recrown the person,
They'll be crowned at the end of the year, and so that's why they'll start to take on
Oh,
for
my
2023. So
goodness.
that's how it works. Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned a little bit more about the pageant world today.
Yes.
Trina Marie,
Yes.
you are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Latoria.
You've been listening to FamVersations, where we like to have conversations with professionals locally here in Las Vegas and all over the United States. We want you to know that we love you and we support you with everything that we got, and anything that I can do to inspire a young person to go after their dreams and to be the success that you know that you can be. You have my attention, and I'm going to do whatever I can do. And I keep bringing people like this to you.
Thank you.
You're quite
You
welcome.
can do it.
You can do it. You can do it. I believe.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today. Foster Adult Mentor. You're listening to FamVersations, conversations with local businesses and professionals from all across Las Vegas and the United States. FamVersations, foster, adopt, mentor, investing in lives of youth.